Hey everybody, welcome back to Bayou Time. Harry McCullough here. We're joined with the Houma Police Department's Chief of Police, Mr. Travis Theriot is here. We're going to talk about a few things, but we're starting off with a troubling incident that happened in East Houma where they had a shooting today.
Right. Well, it was actually yesterday.
Yes.
So around 12 o'clock noon, we received reports of some gunshots that were fired in the area of Raymond Street. So our units responded to the 100 block. And when they arrived, they located a 28-year-old victim suffering from a gunshot wound to the upper body, to his back. And Katy ambulance, they responded and they treated him and transported him via ambulance to a local medical facility. As of yesterday afternoon, our investigators learned that he was in stable condition. He's going to survive the injuries. And what the investigation revealed that as he was pulling up, the suspect pulled alongside of him and just started shooting at him before he could even put the car in park, pretty much. And took off running, and as a result, he was injured. And like we said, he's been treated. But the investigation also revealed that the suspect was driving a Nissan Rogue, light in color, and fled in an unknown direction. So really, that's all we have to go on right now, and they're working the case the best they can to try and resolve it. But if we have anyone with information, if they can contact Crime Stoppers at 1-800-743-7433, that would be greatly appreciated. Or if they want, they can call the police department and at 985-873-6371.
And when you have some at noon, when you have some, that seems a little different at broad daylight like that.
Yeah, it is abnormal to have them in the middle of the day like that, especially on a weekday. You know, sometimes you'll see them on a weekend when everybody's out and home, but you know, middle of the week like that, or Monday, noon, yeah, it's odd.
So there crime cameras or any kind of traffic cameras where you can maybe see the car going through and get a license plate?
Well, we have things that we can do and review, but and our detectives are working all that, and hopefully it'll bring forward some type of information.
You don't know if it's their car.
Right, that's right.
That kind of stuff. So yeah, something to look forward to. So yeah, if you have any information, make sure to give HPD a call. It is spring break. So it's a different time for us this year. Kids are out of school. So a couple of different things. Obviously, you want to be safety. You want to worry about kids when you're driving around that might not be in school at this time. The other thing is car burglaries at night tend to go up, and maybe not the same kids are doing it, but maybe the little older kids are staying out a little later at night.
Well, the obvious thing, you know, the kids are staying out later at night. They're having a good time. We're not naive. We know that high school kids are, they tend to drink, and we don't condone it, but we definitely don't want anybody drinking and driving, during this holiday season. And if at all possible, just avoid it. Do not drink and drive. And if you're going out of town, let's make sure everything is secure. If you want to let a neighbor know, if there's somebody you can trust, family member know, let them know you're headed out of town. And just be on guard the best you can. And if you are traveling, and a lot of people travel with firearms and things like that, make sure they're secured wherever you're at. Always at all times, home, away, wherever. Make sure your firearms are secured and your vehicles are locked. Right.
Because that's a big part of it. A lot of times people leave their gun or whatever in their vehicle, and then they're not locked, or they go by and check the door, and then that's how the guns end up sometimes in the wrong hands.
Right. And look, a lot of times, it's unintentional, and you go over there, no, I lock my car every night. Well, obviously it probably wasn't locked that night, and it's just being responsible, because majority of the time, that's how the guns are getting on the street. It's through vehicle burglaries. I remember a few years back, it was astonishing the amount of firearms that were hitting the street just from car burglaries.
Right. Oh yeah, because look, anytime anybody goes to New Orleans, that was kind of end up being a joke in New Orleans. A lot of the rural areas have these big trucks, and they drive into a Saints game or a Pelicans game, and the first thing they look for is trucks, because they know it's usually a guy that might have a gun underneath the seat.
Yeah. And
can't bring it into the dome,
You can't bring it into the dome, so it stays under the seat. So, a lot of times
are targets.
Yeah, you need to think ahead. You know, you have to think ahead and think of what you're going to do with it. But, you know, on a lighter note, we had some beautiful weather on the weekend, and I was riding around and seeing a lot of people enjoying time with their family.
Absolutely.
And that's what I think it's all about
Yeah.
this time of year.
So the other thing we need to worry about, and seems like we always have to worry about, is the overdoses. And, you know, we live in a small town. We think, oh, that's just in big cities. But fentanyl and those kind of drugs find their way into our communities as well.
Yeah, pretty much on a daily basis, that's what your first responders at somewhere in Terrebonne Parish are dealing with, whether it's medical, fire department, or police. Somebody's dealing with an overdose every day somewhere in our parish. And you know, it doesn't matter what family you come from. You know, there's a chance that somebody in your family could be hooked on this stuff, and you know, just be mindful and try and help them. You know, get off of it, because this stuff's dangerous.
Oh,
and if
eventually, you got to pull the wrong,
Yeah.
you know, the wrong thing and the wrong dose or whatever. And a lot of times now, you know, just going for a Valium or those kind of drugs, Xanax, can be laced with those drugs. So somebody who's not used to that can get their hands on that accidentally too.
Absolutely, yeah. And we just want to try and help people the best we can. So if you think you have a family member that needs help, you know, make some phone calls and see what
Do you
can
guys
do to
always
help 'em.
travel with Narcan? Is that part of what y'all do now?
As much as possible, yeah, at times. I mean, look, we've gotten so busy with it, we've ran out, and then we had to restock.
Right.
So,
All right, Travis, well, thanks so much for the update. We appreciate it, man.
thank you.
All right, we'll be right back with more Bite Time right after this.